All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
The Dutch again! The Dutch again! The Dutch again! 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 The Dutch again! The Dutch again! The Dutch! The Dutch! The Dutch! Again! Fucking Dutch! Again!
I keep loving that intro. It's amazing.
Oh, hello.
Hey guys. Hello. It's been a while. Good to see you all.
Yes, it's been a long time, but that's normal for the Dutch angle. That's you never know when we have a show. That's the motto of the Dutch angle.
For Dutch, we're practically very not Dutch with planning and punctuality.
Yes. Is my sound good? But by the way,
I hear you. I hear your perfectly Dutch accent, English very well.
Right. Marinus, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, sir. Then, yes. All right. Here's Marinus.
Did you kick me out of the stream?
Yeah. Well, you were doing your thing, So
we were protecting our viewers that they won't see you naked while you were undressing.
Yes.
We're used to that, but now he's off again.
Oh
my
see,
God.
guys, this is what we're dealing with.
You're dealing with me.
Whew. Hey, Marinus, thank you for the review, man. Today, I saw it 1 hour ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
What did you think about it?
The first official review of Perfect 10 issue 3.
Yay! Check it out.
Congratulations with the release as well, Dave, with issue 3.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. So
by the way, did you send me another cover of the book? I couldn't remember that I backed this one.
No, this one was actually a change. So cover B was a different cover in the beginning, but because the story got altered, the cover didn't make sense anymore. So we had a new cover made. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
If you keep a track on all the Indiegogo messages in your mails, you should have known, Marinus. This is
I'm too busy.
Unbelievable.
But if it's correct, Marinus, you received a print with the original cover on.
Yes. Well, I probably know because of the character. That was on the front, right? Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil. But so you did watch my review. Just I wanted to do it tomorrow, but then because this was the first, well, how do you say, Dutch angle of this year, I believe.
Yeah.
I said, yay, celebration. But I thought to myself, I'm going to upload it now. Have people have a look-see.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I haven't seen it yet. Were you honest, or were you just a little political correct here?
No, I was being totally honest. I mean, I think that's important to. Although you two guys, we know each other. You're my buddies. I have to be fair. So if there is something that I personally don't like, like I said, personal opinions, then I have to point it out.
Because it can be a thing, right? In indie comics, that you're all kind of each other. It's another big world, and not every comic is to your liking. But I can imagine when you're maybe too honest on some reviews, that those creators are probably hurt. You hurt their feelings, and they won't invite you anymore. They don't like you, and you get slinging over and over. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know. Is that a thing in indie comics sometimes?
I believe so, but to be honest, if you are going to crowdfund a comic, that's expected. So if you have thin skin, don't do crowdfunding, because there's always people that has disagreements in your direction, or maybe your art, or maybe you point out the flaws in your story or whatever. And just because I know Dave, as a person, and we do this together, and I would be biased, it wouldn't be an honest review. So I did it with the first two as well, but I want to be as neutral as possible. That doesn't mean I can be a little bit biased here and there, with certain comics because certain comics, let's say old 90s comics, I have a bias because I like those comics, and although even some of them are not that good, I look at it with a different lens, and it's the same with crowdfunded comics. If you have crowdfunded comics, you pay premium prices. So I expect also a premium product, not only the paper, but also the drawings, the quality, the colors, the writing as well. Although, I can't overlook a little bit of the writing or certain aspects of the art if it's just one cohesive unit, right? And try to highlight in the My Perfect 10 free video as well. So, but mostly what I say is a little bit nitpicking or maybe a direction that I would have liked for a certain character, one or two.
Yeah.
But that's more personal preferences.
Yes.
But I think some of the creators, so maybe most of the creators in the indie comics, are also not professionals, right? They maybe are starting artists, and they have trouble separating their feelings with their product, right? And if you criticize a product, they probably criticize themselves.
I'm not sure. I believe every creator has a different set of skills that they can use, and sometimes people are a little bit too harsh when it comes to criticism. But on the other side, there's also people that just accept just bad stuff just because they like a certain creator. And that's okay, right? I mean, if you all like a creator and you say, hey, man, this is the best thing ever, yeah, good for you if you enjoy the product. But, as a reviewer, I have to try to be as objective as possible. And I think it did a fair job with this one.
Yeah, you did, man.
I'm going to check it out later. Definitely.
Yeah, let me know what you think about it.
I will.
I like to do reviews of indie comics only, but I just don't because it's a very small world.
The price as well.
It feels weird, Anyway, let's say hi to the chat, guys. For the people watching us, thank you all for showing up. Shadowhawk Talks.
Hey, Shadowhawk, how you doing, man?
Welcome, sir. Welcome. And I saw Soul Iron. Welcome, Soul. Always good to see Soul.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a Dutch angle without Soul.
Yes. Yeah. For the Dutch angle, he always shows up. Ryu, hey, welcome, Ryu.
Hey, Ryu, how you doing,
Hey, Ryu.
And Soul says, because you were late, Marinus, so Soul says he ran off looting while the rest of the team is under heavy fire. Wait, that's in co-op games.
Yeah. Well, we're in a co-op stream here, so every man
looting gear and clothes because
we need every man to conquer this dungeon.
Sol says, couldn't you find a longer countdown? 50 is not enough. I need to make 2 sandwiches before takeoff. I'll try for next time.
Yeah.
Mike, Happy New Year, the Dutch again. Welcome,
Hey,
Mike.
Mike, how you doing?
Hey, Mike.
Mike is the best.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, guys. We were talking a little bit about the kind of topic that we could do, and I thought, we had some heavier topics, but we had a pretty today I thought let's do something simple. Let's just talk about comics. We like comic books, and let's talk about corporate comics in the sense that I saw someone else on another stream talk about this article that CBR posted. I don't follow CBR because I don't follow corporate comics.
Book resources, is it right?
Sorry?
Book resources?
Yeah, yes.
I remember it from way back.
Yes. And they were listing trends in mainstream comics that could have been the cause of people abandoning comics. And these are things that we have been talking about for 10 years, for 15 years.
Yeah.
So I saw this and I was like, could it be that finally mainstream is getting it now? So I thought, why not talk about it? We can show the things listed, and I know there are more reasons why we kind of lost interest in corporate comics. So they don't list everything because I think they either are not aware of everything, or there are certain reasons they rather not tackle. So yeah.
I'm curious. I haven't read the article at all, so bring it on.
And thank you, Sol, for dropping the link to jmcomics.com.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Dave, before you continue, can you put up the ticker stream, the ticker tape?
Oh, the ticker tape.
Some music background. Let's make it a little cozy, nice.
Music? Really? All right. Let me.
I don't know. Any request from the chat? Or did we learn about that, not ask the chat anymore for the background music?
Right. Keep people busy while I find something then. Denial, says Mike. Mike had a question. What is this background of the stream? I wonder. I don't recognize it. It's a pinup, a promotional pinup that we made years back. It features several characters from the JM universe, but some of these characters already changed. But I do like the art, so I'm just using it for the background here. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw some very old designs of Perfect 10 in the upper left corner.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
She changed radically. Yeah. What do we have? Dance pop. I don't know, guys. Here.
It's just for the background.
Okay. It's cool. If you want something else, we can pick something else. Guys, let me share the site with you.
Yeah, do it.
Is the music too loud?
No, it's okay.
It's okay. All right. Okay. Let me share. Present. Share screen. Whoa. What's this? Something changed. Right. All right. Here we go. StreamYard changed a few things. I'm just discovering it right now. Anyway, so the 10 worst trends in modern comics, right? So these, you know, we've been talking about corporate comics for almost every episode. And we complain about it, and these are complaints that are barely addressed within mainstream comic book journalism. Right. So I was pretty surprised to find out that CBR spoke of things that we already knew. Right. So 10 worst trends in modern comics, right? Right. All right.
Should we guess?
Yeah. Well, let's go through these 10, and at the end we can add our own gripes with corporate comics. So at 10, they say some comic books are clearly written to be TV shows and movies.
Wait a minute. So this side is particularly having gripes with this, or just pointing out what is trending?
Well, they say 10 worst trends in modern comics. So they recognize that these are trends that are not really what people want.
CBR is trash. I mean, they are flowing with the wind. They are just very pro-left, and they always say, "Oh, well, if you don't like this, then you are a worse person." Now you say, "Oh, well, worst trends in comics today." Yeah.
I think we can make up 10 worst trends in modern journalistic comic about comic books.
Yes. This also.
It's like the meta of the
journals booted.
Yeah, where were they 15 years ago? Most of these things were things we complained about 15 years ago. Man.
15 years ago, even 5 years ago, they didn't know anything about comics, these new writers.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
I don't know.
But this is true, right? With the whole networks, Netflix system, many people nowadays, many new writers in the comic book scene, they see comic books as a stepping stone towards something else, something they rather do.
That's right.
Like,
Yeah,
like
maybe,
have their own
or
TV show.
yeah, or they see examples like Robert Kirkman's comic and exploded into TV shows,
exactly.
you know, and they think it's popular, and they think, if we're going to make comics, we might go on a TV show. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
in the history, there are already so many trials and errors. Like we had the Witchblade TV show. Anybody remember that one?
Yeah. That's
It
a long time
flopped.
ago.
But it was a terrible show, right?
It was a terrible show. And I think most of the adaptations for comics that are successful are cartoons. The Spawn cartoon was pretty good, right?
Which one? Sorry?
The Spawn cartoon.
I haven't followed that. I'm just more like I'm more like a Justice League guy, you know, Batman the animated series and stuff like that.
Those from the
Those are fantastic.
Tim something.
Tim. I want to say Tim Burton. That's not it.
Tim Burton.
Bruce Tim. Yeah.
His universe he created for DC was amazing. Was awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it's right. These are these wannabes series writers, and you can't write a comic book the way you write a series or a TV show. I don't know if they mean this with this piece. I mean, writing comics is completely different.
Yeah, totally.
Than a TV show.
Yeah,
it's
more
medium,
creative when you write a comic.
Yeah, I think Michael Bendis started a bit with this decompressed story writing and with this cinematic kind of layout of comics. His art is kind of he forces his artists to do that because his writing was so decompressed. The artist had a lot of pages to draw.
Oh, really?
Welcome, Dr. Rhino.
Welcome, hey, mate. Dr. Rhino.
Hey, man.
Long time no see.
So Ein says, Roland, that Hulkbuster armor looks as big as your torso.
it is bigger. It's definitely bigger.
So Ein says, corporate comics suck. That's the secret.
Yes. Yeah, but now we're going to get into it. Why do they suck?
Oh, Bristolian Dave.
According to CBR.
Hello, Bristolian Dave.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, Billy. Dave.
Yeah.
So Bristolian Dave is now a streamer. So he has also a Twitch channel. He's doing now the Hogwarts Legacy, you know, the Harry Potter game. So, so if you want to check that out, you know, follow him on Twitch.
I will probably do a stream of that game when it's in the sales bin. So I see you in 1 year.
Yeah, well, maybe Sil can drop a link or something if maybe once Dave wants to share
I'm gonna watch. Yeah, I'm gonna watch his channel then.
Yeah.
Right. Dr. Ryan says, I own both seasons and the anime of Witchblade.
Oh, the anime.
The second season. Yeah. The anime looked pretty good, right?
Yeah.
But the anime was different. It was a different take on the Witchblade. Yeah. It wasn't Sarah Pazzini. It was a different character.
Mm-hmm. Now, everything I loved about Michael Turner's comic, they didn't do justice in the TV show in terms of design, but of course they didn't have the budget, but it shouldn't be a real issue, real excuse. And anime, I like anime, but also when you do an adaptation, it needs to be kind of, you know, based on the comic then. Yeah. And animes also can go way too wild, and I also don't like them when they do that, if they're based on something.
Well, I must say, I was surprisingly, I'm not sure how faithful the adaptation was. Alita, you know the movie?
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
No, but I also I probably am alone in my opinion, but I also liked the Ghost in the Shell live action adaptation with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, that was a bad one. Ghost in the Shell.
I actually liked it.
No, it's bad. Trust me.
Oh. Right, but
I'm kidding. Man. If you like it,
trust me, it's bad. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's good. Now it's nice that they have the original anime of Ghost in the Shell on Netflix. I just saw it. They dropped it recently on Netflix. at least here in the Netherlands.
Nice.
So I'm going to watch this with the kids.
Oh, great.
Cool.
But the Witchblade is from a time period that comics were just comics. And then from that came series sometimes, like Spawn or whatever. But nowadays, comics are clearly written in such a way that you think this person rather had made a series, a television series. You can go nuts when you make comics, right? But with TV, you have to mind the budget. And you see this in these comics.
But not only the writers, also the artists. They just take actors' faces and put them in comics.
All right. Right, yeah.
Yeah, there was a TV series from the two superheroes that are not, I believe, Green Lantern. I could be wrong, and they will become detectives or something like that. It sounds really stupid. I forgot who it was, but just I believe some DC characters, and they turn it into detectives. Although they are not detectives. Forget what I said. We'll see what's happening. That's a topic for another time. Let's move on to number 9.
Number 9. Decompression is okay, but comic readers still like shorter arcs.
Yeah, what I don't get is, shorter arcs, but Marvel is throwing event after event after event after event.
Mm-hmm.
It's just oversaturating with shitty comics, and they are relying too much on covers, done by other people. I come from an era, we all come from the era that the interior artist was also in front of the, on the cover. And now they did some beautiful Photoshop covers. And then when you open the comic, it's probably mostly shitty art, Tumblr art. That's what Marvel is doing lately a lot. And they are throwing, if you have this issue, then you need to read that issue. Otherwise, you're going to miss that particular piece of story, although it doesn't really matter. I got a lot of Xbox, with events, and mostly are just so forgettable. And Marvel is doing that a lot. It's just crazy. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to back on what you were saying. Marinus, you went from sideways to sideways to sideways. But But in the beginning they started to write for 6 issues, right? To trade book, right? And they did a lot of decompression writing. I do like shorter arcs, like we had in the 80s, just one comic, and you had a story, and there were some small dangling lines to read to the next comic. They are mostly standalone. You could enjoy one comic, and you can skip a few months, and you can pick it up as easily as
exactly.
Possible. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it goes on too long. Also, when you have these longer arcs, it makes it difficult for new readers to just jump in. You can't just now pick up this random floppy single issue and make sense of things, right?
Yeah, they also just put storyline and story. Sometimes you have these story arcs or these collections where they have like 4 stories, almost being told at the same time. Always 4 at the same time, and maybe 1 or 2 are stopped but are immediately replaced with another storyline. So it's continuous. Just do those 4 storylines. Just make them half, do 2 storylines at the same time. Easier to follow, nice to read.
Right. Yeah. Ryu says, my problem with comics, when I got back into it in the early 90s with Spider-Man, I hated it. And I was like, what have they done with Spidey, who I once loved in the 80s? So I moved to Image. Right.
Yeah. I don't know if he also refers to the clone saga, but that was really an example that storylines were too messy. Too long, thread out. And I think what they did with then, you see now all the time almost.
Right,
They didn't learn.
Right. All right, that was 9. 8. The comic industry has seen its genres whittled away. So what they refer to is that in the past, the American comic book scene also had different genres, like westerns, for instance, or suspense, or detectives, or whatever. And nowadays, it's basically overtaken by all superhero stuff.
Yeah.
So people who want like horror comics or whatever, they need to look elsewhere.
Yeah, true. But it was also already in the I think in the 90s, early 2000s, you had more varied comics. You know, you had The Walking Dead, you had like Bone was very popular. I think you had way more diverse comics than only superheroes. But
right,
I think the article does has a point here. I think now it's too much superhero stuff. Also, probably a lot of superhero influx due to the Marvel movies being so successful. If I want to find a genre outside of the superheroes, I go to a local store here and buy some European comics because they are way more diverse. You still find very good written westerns or a lot of horror. Horror is still very popular.
Right.
True.
I think this is a problem with a lot of these things on this list, that basically they are driven by what the publisher think where the money is. So what people want, right? So when most people buy superhero stuff, they focus on that, and the rest is just sidelined.
Yeah, but it is true.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was thinking about Conan the Barbarian. It's high fantasy. Yeah. What the fuck is he doing in a comic book world? Why does he have a crossover with Mary Jane in God's name?
Yeah,
it's so stupid. And you have very, very good horror characters like Vampire Hunters or even Man-Thing or Swamp Thing, whatever. And they are perfect in a very good horror setting. Yeah. I don't think they necessarily need to be with the superheroes.
Look at Tomb of Dracula, that came from the, I believe, 70s and 80s. I got the, the collected editions in black and white. It's masterful, written by Mark Wolfman and drawn by Gene Colan, among other things. It was perfect. When I think of Dracula in comics, I always refer back to that design, that Dracula, because for me that was the definitive Dracula ever from Marvel. And now they changed him in some, I don't know, he looks like the Witcher now or something. It looks trash. No, these characters. No.
Yeah, and I think as well, like what I already said with The Walking Dead, it was original, it was very nice, it was also horror, black and white. But you also had some Image was putting out some really interesting comics with Aria. There was more magical Fairyland. You had Dreamscape or something. It was a kind of anime looking comic.
Image started out as purely superhero stuff, and then they broadened with genre.
They do a really good job nowadays with shorter stories, not big events, not continuously, except for Spawn, I guess, but mostly shorter stories with different artists and different writers, and it actually works. It's short and sweet. I got a lot of Image nowadays.
The problem is I don't know how good Image sells. I think the big two are still Marvel and DC. So I don't know. We think it's good, and you also see it in movies. If you go to the movies, you have the big blockbusters, and they take in a lot of money because they are also made for the big audience with families and stuff. So you buy 5 tickets in one time for one movie, and then you have the very good movies, the art house movies or the smaller movies that are well written, well directed, but they just don't bring in a lot of money, even though they're way better movies. So I think it's the same with comics.
It's also because when it comes to the big two, I don't think they are big anymore. But hey, that's me.
Because but all the comics are
they're still going. But what I'm trying to say is people are used to get the most out of the big two, the Supermans, the Batmans, the Spider-Mans, the Avengers, and and then people buy those comics out of habit. Looking at you, Dave, in the chat.
You,
Yeah.
You are feeding those monsters.
You, Dave. He says,
You're a
I'm
feeder.
picking up more and more comics that are not from the big two. Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna shame him every time he's on stream. But I'm all kidding aside. Well, I'm right, but but yeah, I believe people want. Oh, I want to have the next Spider-Man. Although Spider-Man is shit nowadays, in my opinion, of course. I mean, what is now actually really, really good when it comes to Marvel? I don't know. Is the Avengers good? No, not really. The same with DC. I mean, I like DC better because of the characters. It's more my jam. But I heard Daredevil was actually good. But and then I don't know, man. It's just it doesn't do it for me anymore. Marvel needs to diverse, quote unquote, not with characters but with stories. They diverse it up, more horror, more Western, and indeed bring it back if people are interested. Supernatural, magic. There's so many things that you can do with that. House of Mystery from DC Comics was a big thing back in the day. Sergeant Rock,
Sergeant Rock.
Yeah, Sergeant Rock. Bring back Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., spy thriller, the real Nick Fury, of course, not the fake one.
So Ian says that's why you look for indie. They still have horror, they still have Western, and more often than not, the creators do deliver. You put back the wrong horse, but that's the risk.
Yeah, indie. That's the fun part with indie comics. You have so many creators. You have so many different tastes. There's so diverse type of comics. Sadly, the point is, then it is all the money that the people have needs to be spread out, and that's a shame in that sense, because the stories are better, the art is usually better. Sadly, it is how it works sometimes.
I mean, look at crowdfunded comics. The creator and artist Aaron Lopresti, he did Wraith of God, and I love that. It's a Western horror. Western supernatural. It's great, and he's now doing Wraith of Horror 2, and it looks fantastic. As vampires, and the first one has werewolves, etc. And we have a mysterious, protagonist with powers. It's just great. It's just great stuff.
I take this opportunity to plug a colleague and a friend of mine called Richard Raaphorst. He's a Dutch artist. He's making a horror comic right now about Nazi zombies and stuff like that. It's really well drawn. His daughter is coloring in. I think he had a Kickstarter project on it. But if you Google him, Richard Raaphorst, you will find him. He's also a short movie maker. He made a short movie called Gnomes, and Sony just bought the movie rights of his project. So I'm going to try to get him on this channel one time, because he makes really, really good stuff.
Good. Great. All right. That was that one. Next. The shrinkage of ongoing books leaves little to invest in.
No shit.
So they say
they are smart, right? These journalists. He is smart. He did research.
We vilified the fans for 3, 4, 5 years, and now people don't buy comics anymore. What to do? Oh no! How do we solve this problem? Jesus Christ! We say that for years, right?
Yes. So we were vilified for it.
Yeah.
Roland, what's the comic called?
Oh, good one. Yeah, I forgot. It's called Worst Case Scenario.
Okay.
Worst Case Scenario.
Raaphorst, with the Raaphorst.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Richard Raaphorst.
Right. So the shrinkage of ongoing books leaves little to invest in. Right.
Well, it depends what you are looking for. Like I said, I just mostly leave the big two behind. I'm looking to invest in other publishers like Image Comics, Dark Horse, Our Upshot, stuff like that.
Genuine
I like
comics.
those comics more. Yeah.
Right.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Irrelevant?
Genuine comics.
Genuine comics. Yeah. And a Blaze. I like a Blaze too.
A Blaze?
A Blaze. And then Blaze. You should check it out. Do you the Conan? There is a Conan series called the Cimmerian. It's the best comics that you have read when it comes to Conan.
Oh, really?
The art is phenomenal. You never heard of it? Oh man, look up the Cimmerian. It's fantastic.
All right.
I heard about it. I hear fantastic stories about it. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. The artist is really good, and it's directly written from the books of Frank Frazetta, amongst other, and as well. Why am I saying Frank Frazetta? Robert J. Howard. Sorry. Yeah.
You can drop Frank Fazetta's name always. It can never hurt.
Yeah,
his art is amazing.
Just the best.
Yeah.
He's the best.
We can do that every 10 minutes. Just drop his name. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sol, for dropping the links.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Check that out.
Bastilian Dave says, speaking of deliveries, I can't wait for my Perfect 10 delivery to arrive. I haven't shipped out to the UK yet. I will do that next week.
Oh.
Yeah.
You let Bastilian Dave wait for this
I'm
comment?
sorry.
Dude, they are our neighbors. They're just across this little water we have.
Yeah, you'd say.
Yeah, okay, it's their fault. They exit themselves from Europe. Okay, you can't help that, but still, Dave, come on, a bit effort for your fans, man.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Next week,
no,
Dave.
it's US first, right? It's America first again with you, right? America first.
Thank God I have now. The comic is in my hands right now.
All right, guys. 6. The multiverse is fun, but there can be too much of a good thing.
Multiverse is fun. Multiverse is fun.
What is fun at the okay?
What is fun about multiverse?
Look. The concept was pretty cool when it was first introduced. You're like, okay, that's a fun idea. But now they expanded it to a point that it's just everywhere, and it's just a lazy way to introduce characters, alternative versions of characters. So you get like gazillion versions of the most popular characters. And I'm like, it's just so tiresome.
It's lazy as well,
It's lazy.
I never actually was invested in the whole what if stories or elsewhere worlds. I didn't really get connected with those things.
No,
I'm sure there are awesome stories about it. Kingdom Come and other stories. I'm sure there are great written stories, but I'm just not into that.
I mean, the multiverse or whatever verse you can call it was more introduced in DC Comics. You have Earth 2 and Earth 3. There was a lot of cool villains, but now they are just making, how do you say, I was looking for the word exploiting. Probably that's the word, because oh no, this woman here is now Spider-Man, and she's black and disabled. Yeah, but you it's from a different universe, so that's okay, right? And then we have
terrible.
Oh no, diverse Iron Man and blah blah blah. You know where I'm going. And there was a time that those stories were fun because they were short. Or I also like the crossover between Superman and Spider-Man. It was sometimes all these small little things. And I mean, at the Marvel side, there was also Jesus Christ, what's that? Superhero team also turned supervillain, the Crime Syndicate, if I'm correctly. They are jumping from universes. That was fun too. But now there are billions of universe, and then we have now the Ultimate Universe, and then we have that universe. And it's not. Oh, now it's that canon. Fuck off.
I really hate it. Yeah. It also means that nothing really matters.
Exactly.
Anyone can die, and you can simply replace them. It's just it's not fun.
I know, and I know it's just comics and it's all make believe world. But even in your in the belief world you escape to, There has to be some kind of rules, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You just cannot throw anything in, and then even with all the crises DC had and Marvel colliding with the Ultimate Universe, it's just fucked up. I mean,
right? It's the same with concepts like the negative zone or the phantom zone. There are these worlds out there, we know about it, but they always only apply to certain storylines, you know.
Yeah.
But this multiverse that's everywhere now. It's too much. Yeah.
Because they can think of everything.
Mr. says multiverse stuff is fine, providing they don't cross over. If you know it's two different entities, then it's fine. When you put in 30 Spider-Mans in one book, it gets stupid real quick. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I kind of had fun with the original. What was it? Spider-Verse. But I don't think a sequel was necessary at all. Like he said, too many Spider-Man. It doesn't. It diminishes the original Spider-Man. You know, he was original, and I also in his own comic suddenly there was this Ezekiel Spider-Man. Okay, maybe can accept that, but then apparently there was a girl somewhere held prisoner for all her life. She's 23 or something. I don't know, and she also was. Yeah. And she was also bit by the same spider. This is. Let's continue.
Yeah.
Let's make it
retcons. Is also one of the
screen.
problems. Yeah. All right, that was 6. Wait, what are you doing, Marinus?
Is he pooping?
Just give me a second.
He's pooping.
Give me a second.
Live on stream.
Mike says there are more single original universes out there. Try Epic, Eternity, Continuity, Malibu, CrossGen.
CrossGen. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, CrossGen is fun.
Whoever invented Spider-Ham needs to be beaten up with a piece of soap. It'll suck. Okay. You can beat him.
Are you? Is it to work? Are you okay, Marinus? Everything is out.
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay,
don't forget to wipe and wash your hands afterwards, right?
Should we move on to the next?
This is so bad, Marinus is going to the toilet.
This is terrible.
Oh man, I gotta find it.
You're so sorry, guys. This is terrible television. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
He just pops up. I don't know a lot of people that have a toilet in the middle of their living room, but
I don't know. I just back and bought some Spider-Mans here, and there was also a Spider-Woman. You know, another Spider-Woman, but that was before all the
but
thousands
of
Spider-Mans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we know that you use those comics to wipe your ass with, so maybe it's finished.
All right. So I said kid bashing characters together, such a stoner idea. Shows you what kind of idea people they have today. Wagnerine. A female Wolverine and Nightcrawler is one of the current low points. Really?
Well, to be honest, you had this crossover between DC and Marvel. And they also mixed characters. I also was not a fan of that.
I thought that was great, but it worked because it was one event. It was a separate thing. It wasn't canon. So, and then it's fine.
Yeah, you can read it and you can forget about it again.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't make any impact on any of the characters.
Exactly. Okay. All right. Next.
Let's scroll.
Next. All right. It's time to admit the superhero families are too big. Yes. Why do we need 40 different Spider-Man or Batman?
Or 5,000 Batman? Yeah.
These shield sides, man. I mean,
even the Joker has his own family, and the Venom has their own family, and
really?
Iron Man has their own family.
These characters they wanted to push, right? The most popular ones. They get the largest rosters of copies. Because they get the most stories, so every new character every new writer wants to put their own stamp on the lore, so they create new things. So it slowly expands. And when you write the same character for like 60 years, then these families, they get too big, man.
And you create a character which is so cool and so unique. And then you just put them in a copier, and each copy is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And where we leave, we have like 5,000 Venom, and none of them are as good as the original. We have 6,000 Spider-Man, none of them are as good as the original Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just got a new crowdfunded bundle. Just opened the package.
Yeah. All right, show us.
Tracker. This is the newest installment from Ron Randall. And just open it, just a page. I have, and the art is fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. Just there's nothing to do with this whole thing here, but
no. Why are you doing this now?
What do you mean? Opening the box?
Yeah. Are you bored? Or
it's just a crossover between.
I can multitask.
I think we have kind of the crossover from another universe from Darksyde Comics doing reviews.
Yeah. And I got also.
He's taking over your stream, Dave.
Yeah. We're not going to do that, Marinus. No, we're not going to do this. Okay. Soul says the first Highlander said it best. There can be only one. Variants can be okay when they're explored in one and done stories, but the more you copy something, the weaker it gets. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dilute the icons. Exactly. All right, guys. Yeah, I think we all agree with this one. Too much. It's just too much. It's
too much is too much.
Always. Exactly. No. Too much. Sometimes less is more. All right. Number 4. There's no good reason any comic should have dozens of variant covers.
True.
Yeah.
How many variant covers of your comics do I have now, Dave?
Did you read the original Dark Horse Tracker miniseries too? Oh no.
Yeah, I got the hardcover and basically everything that he's put out was a Kickstarter, and so I bought the complete edition, and this is the newest one. So yeah, I got everything as far as I know.
Right.
Do you guys want to have your own room together? That's okay.
Yeah, maybe later.
Right. So Ian knows you also. Right. There's no good reason for any county. These variant covers, it's just ridiculous, man. It's just.
Yeah, and I think they still do that for collecting wise. I don't know.
Yeah, it's also confusing. You walk in the store, you see this title that you like with a new cover. Hey, there's a new issue. It happened to me several times in the 90s that I bought the same book multiple times because they had different covers.
Mm-hmm.
So sure. Yeah.
And the renumbering also doesn't work, or the rebooting of a series and then restart again. I have to really put on a lot of effort which Avengers series is when and where. You know, they're all called the same, and they all start with number 1, but each year or something they start with a new number 1. What the fuck?
Because the comics are not selling, so they're getting canceled and they get rebooted again. And you know, in the 90s there was also, you know, especially with Image Comics, if I'm correct, there's a lot of all these variant covers and die cut covers, and it was ridiculous. And some crowdfunded people are just doing that exactly, with 20 covers or something. It's just crazy.
Yeah, like Coffin Comics, right? They do this also. Yeah, but he is pretty successful on Kickstarter. Yeah, it seems to work. It seems to be very lucrative. So yeah.
I don't know where they get the money. I mean, Coffin Comics has, he's doing that for a very long time. Mm-hmm. That guy, but even newcomers are just, hey, here's 20 covers with half-naked women in it.
Yeah. What? Did I hear that?
Especially that, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you look the art is shit.
Mike says I shouldn't have asked. Sure, Mike, you can ask anything, sir.
Of course.
No worries.
All in good fun here.
Yeah, he says more cover artists should also be interior artists if they are working in the comic book industry.
I
Just
don't know
like
if
now.
all. I don't know. There are cover artists that are not good with.
No, not everyone can do
making art.
sequentials.
No, not at all. And vice versa, maybe better, but no. There are definitely pin-up artists and not sequential artists. No.
Yeah.
Right.
Up next.
Okay. Next. All right.
No more
3.
variant covers.
Fans miss a world that wasn't quite so Batman-centric.
What the fuck?
Yes.
This is very specific.
Yes.
You can also say fans miss a world that wasn't so Spider-Man centric.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
this is all
same.
cherry picking.
But
and all
this is the same one as the one we just had, basically.
Yeah, like I said, these journalists cannot write if their life depends on it. I mean, everything they are criticizing here. A couple of years back or not so long ago, they praised that. Oh man, we have diverse characters. Oh, we have the next new Batman. Oh, the new Batman is black. Oh, and the new Robin is gay. And now they say, well, maybe we have now too many Batman titles and too many Batman characters. It's fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, what they basically refer to here is that some characters are so popular, you see them everywhere. The same is with Wolverine. For instance, you pick up this Avengers book and you see Wolverine. Why the hell is he there? You know, it's just so he's there. He's a popular character, so they put these characters everywhere.
Deadpool, exactly. It's too many Deadpool titles.
Yeah, sometimes you have these characters. They are featured in every single comic.
Yeah.
For example, like they said, in Avengers, in an X-Men, in his own series, in a Deadpool, in a Spider-Man, and you're like, come on.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 at one point, Spider-Man. So just Peter Parker, right? It was before the entire multiverse bullshit. So Peter Parker had 3 series at the same time. You had the Spectacular Spider-Man, you had Peter Parker, and you had another series.
Yeah, Web of Spider-Man. And you had the fourth one with Todd McFarlane, just called Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you had the team-ups. A lot of team-up comics also featuring Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That also.
Yeah. But Spider-Man was a unique character on its own. Right?
At least you didn't see Spider-Man in the Avengers as well, and in X-Men, and in the Fantastic Four. They kind of didn't do that, but nowadays you see them every single comic, everywhere, in the new Avengers, the Mighty Avengers, and the Young Avengers, in the Fantastic Four, in the Foundation Four, I don't know, in the Thunderbolts, and then he's in his own series, and then he's in the Venom series.
Right.
No, stop it. Don't want.
Bristolian Dave says there are too many Batman comics, though. Look,
How many are there, though?
This also one of the things that why can't people just move on? So nowadays people complain about comics being crap. So why not just let it die? Accept that this era is over. How many more decades of new Batman comics do we need, or do you want? Every story has been told.
Even though, we are not talking about decades, because the people who are reading now or we're reading it, we're our age probably, we're not going to buy these books anymore. Young people are not going to buy these books anymore. So I don't think you can call decades before this is all finished and done and over. We're all 80 years or 60 years and gray and withering, hospitalized.
But what I mean, why do people want this to continue, right? Don't we have enough Batman stories now? Can't Spider-Man retire? Can we have new things, new heroes?
Well, they tried to make new heroes, but these heroes are not popular. Like John Kent from Superman. They were. He was fun when in the comic Super Sons with Damian Wayne, but then Brian Michael Bendis aged him up and made him gay. So that goes down the drain.
Yeah, but then again, you have this character that is derivative of Superman, right? So something new.
Even if they create new characters, they can't help themselves to make not the character or the power thing, No, it has to be the sexuality or the gender. That has to be the thing that defines their identity. And of course, that doesn't write a character. It's not interesting, so nobody will buy it. Fuck you, face space.
Bristolian Dave says, I can't leave. I'm like an abused spouse. I will never drop Spider-Man completely until they stop making it.
See? He's a corporate shill.
Well,
he's feeding the monster. He's feeding Marvel.
Dave, I was there. I've been there. You have to just go cold turkey. Stop it. Drop it.
Stop it. It's what I did. Best decision ever.
Yeah. Just do it. I mean,
at some point,
I haven't bought any Spider-Man comics.
Yeah.
I think for 2 years now. Once.
At some point, you just lose the right to complain. You get what you pay for. So yeah.
Yeah, and you just need to see it like smoking.
Okay.
When you get cancer, then finally you will realize you were too late. So just stop the comics now, Dave.
So this is Peter Parker Spider-Man's from 2002, I believe. With I believe Michael J. Straczynski and Wetter Ramos. I just was bagging and boarding these comics. It's shit.
Exactly the same one.
Stories are shit. Nobody's remembered these comics. It's shit. And that's because I was buying them because I wanted to have every Spider-Man in my collection, right? So I bought them and bought them and bought them. And I cannot recall anything from these covers. While the years before that, 80s and 90s comics, if you show me a cover or a certain page in the comic, I know exactly what story it is, who drew it, who wrote it. And all these books that I'm, showing you, I have zero recollection. Zero.
Well, I recognize all those covers because I have them as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
exactly.
I understand.
What do you remember about the story? What do you remember about the story?
The thing is also, Marinus, those older comics you've been reading over and over, and so you remember them better, and you were younger, so it's more ingrained in your brain. The newer stories, besides being bad, you didn't read them over and over, and you didn't pick them up again. So,
well, that's not entirely true. I mean, there was some comic. Well, this is partially true. I admit that. But the reason I did not read them over and over because I didn't like the stories. But the comics, like let's say Young Justice, right, or certain comics from the 80s when, or even 90s when Peter Parker was still working for the Daily Bugle. Those memories are imprinted in my brain. Certain parts with Jonah J. Jameson. But even if I'm just reading this comics here, I'm just getting bored.
Yeah, but the art is boring. They had a perfect artist doing the covers, but what you see on the covers is not interior.
Exactly.
And the interior was super boring art. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Mike says, think of all the past, older material that you haven't yet read instead of the new.
Exactly.
Already published, finished, and continually reconfirmed as classics.
Classics, yeah.
Buy 90s comics, guys. That's the way to go. 90s comics. Pick up Green Lantern, not, because speaking of, how do you say, replacing the old with the new, there was in the 90s a lot of, young, newer, superheroes that was temporarily replacing certain characters like Kal Rayner, that replaced Hal Jordan. We have, of course, Wally West, who is around forever. We have then the Death of Superman. Then we introduced to Superboy. We have, of course, the Teen Titans. There was a lot of younger and diverse, a group of people that is widely accepted by the masses. Yeah, they could have done so much with them, but they discarded them and created new characters that nobody wanted, like Riri Williams, Squirrel Girl, and all these other worthless characters that nobody likes.
Squirrel Girl is new and original.
Yeah, well.
There's no male counterpart.
Yeah.
But do you like Shuri? The Black Panther? Do you like Riri Williams? Come on.
No, but that's a derivative of Iron Man, so no.
Yeah. Do you like the new Miss Marvel? you need to see the sales, man. They are bad. Really, really bad.
Yeah, I seen the Black Panther movie recently. It was dropped on Disney Plus. I know you guys don't have Disney Plus because you
refuse to see it.
Even though you can watch it illegally, right? It's pretty easy to do that.
I have it now, by the way.
I think it's a shite movie. I wasn't high praised on the first Black Panther. It was just a blah movie, but it was not that spectacular or well. But this movie is just bad.
Yeah.
And it's not about the change of the characters. The Namor is not really from Atlantis. It's just bad writing. And they actually made the Wakandians like bad people, like the villains.
Yeah.
Which they actually are, basically, as well.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
Yeah, what's next?
Deconstruction
Two more
stories
to come.
have long outstayed their welcome.
Oh,
we just had this, right?
You mean the deconstruction of characters or just particular stories?
Yeah, I think that's one of the longest ones.
I think it gained popularity with Alan Moore, with Watchmen. So you take this trope of the hero, they turn it around.
Yeah.
And that proved popular. So suddenly you see these characters everywhere, and it lost its heroics. So superheroes weren't standard heroes anymore.
No, you had this Spider-Man comic called Dark Reign or something. I don't know where Spider-Man gave Mary Jane cancer or whatever via having too much sex with her. Or something like that, right? There was a kind of deconstruction story as well. And I think they do it all the time with Batman. Like, he's actually a very nutty. He's mental. Batman is not mentally healthy at all. I think actually none of those superheroes are. And that's what I want to do with these deconstruction stories.
Right. It works when it's not the norm. When you get it, like Watchmen was like a commentary on superhero stories taken from a different angle. People understood that, and that's why it worked.
Yeah.
So it was never the intent for it to go mainstream.
No.
Right.
Yeah. And the thing is, people nowadays, generation younger than us, they don't get that anymore. They take, if we would make a Watchmen now, they take that too seriously. You saw that with the Watchmen series they made, I think, a couple of years ago. They just took it too seriously. And especially sometimes Americans can't see it as well. Look at the Starship Troopers movie. There was a big satire and a commentary about American society at that point, and how America what was sliding to fascism state, and Americans didn't get it. They did not get the message in that movie. And you have that in comics as well. Sometimes comics are smarter than the readers, and especially in the 90s and 80s. And now the writers are just stupid and dumb.
I don't really see this changing though, because it seems popular. You have The Boys, for instance. That's very popular series, popular show.
I just like The Boys because it's violent.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just that. It's
the same here.
Very simple, just that. It's stupid. The acting is not always good. I know they take a lot of effort in the special effects. I follow these things and not criticize them that badly because a lot of talents are working on it, but it's not always that good. The story is simple, and I just like it's like watching porn basically, but in a violent way.
All right.
Just skip to the bloody parts and then you actually can.
Good enough.
Right.
Okay, next one. Skip it up.
Next, number one. What's number one? What would it be? Too many comic events.
Hey, there you go, Marinus.
Really?
They
Wow,
figured
what
it
a
out.
surprise! What a surprise!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
already said.
really annoyed when I am invested in a story, and suddenly there's this event crossed through it, took my character away, and it's just a gap in my story, and this happens every 6 issues.
Yeah.
I can't follow a normal story of my favorite character in one go as if I'm watching a movie or a series. No, they have to cross it between. Something happens with the character.
Yeah.
It breaks. I actually think the writers of that particular hero they're writing would be annoyed as well by the
Yeah.
people who invent these big events.
Yeah, and most events are totally pointless. I mean, the downside is, they're doing that for ages, of course. But you have the main series that splits into, you need to get that one, and you need to get that one, etc., etc., and then it comes all together. And but mostly these side stories is totally unnecessary. I mean, it's the same if with the Avengers movie. Oh, you have to watch Captain Marvel because if you don't, you miss a particular part of the story that you need to see. And then you watch that movie and it's totally shit, and it's just
doesn't add anything. Yeah,
and that doesn't add anything to the story at all. And that's the same with these events. Yeah,
they started these events around the 2000s, right? Just around Civil War and Avengers Disassembled.
No.
They started from
way
there.
earlier.
Every year they had a event, so every 12 issues there was a gap in your story. And I think Michael J. Straczynski was writing Spider-Man at the time.
Yeah,
and I think his stories, he wanted to tell real good Spider-Man stories. Hit or miss, we can discuss about it later.
Yeah.
But I think he was really annoyed with who was the editor at the time. Also an artist, Joe something, and they were interrupting his story. Yeah, I don't know. They were interrupting his stories with an event each and every time. I think he really got annoyed with that.
Mm-hmm.
And that led into this awful brand new day stuff and this
oh god, yeah,
this stuff with Spider-Man, because I think he quitted that he quit it at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, it's really cool when you have this universe and all these characters inhabit the same universe. That is fun, but they still need to have their own little corners, and sometimes they can meet. But and if you have a big event, which is great, if it happens every 3-4 years, then it's something special,
Special, yeah.
And if it happens, maybe try to coordinate it so every series ends, and then the event starts, and when it ends, the series can be picked up again.
Especially when I was so sick of it. I mean, not that I just collect them or read them or bought them. With Venom, it was a Venom with a villain called Knoll, or however you say it. That event,
Knoll.
Knoll or Knoll, I don't know. But that event was so bloated. They made Eddie Brock for a while a hero, which in my opinion is ridiculous. I mean, Venom should also be, more like an anti-hero or just a villain in my opinion. But that's besides the point. And it just goes on and on and on and on. It was ridiculous. And then that part was over, and then we have now another event, and then with the X-Men or whatever, it's just crazy. It's just all bloated.
We had this comic book implosion in the mid 90s. I think if the comic books industry was bigger, we had the same thing right now. But it's such a niche, small world right now, it can't implode. that's the sad thing about it.
It needs to implode again, but then hard. I mean, I believe Marvel and DC are getting desperate. They are putting so much. Oh, let's have a beautiful shiny cover, and then put out as much crap as they can before they go down, because the sales are every month, or I'm not sure when they are coming out, but it's abysmal. Even the Batman comics that should have been, flagship characters, flagship books, are selling really bad. right? And that's
are there nowadays actually star artists or writers like we had with in our time, Sel Buscema, John Romita, Medrara? Do we have nowadays star writers, I don't know.
Well,
artists?
Some people praise Tom King, but Tom King is of course not a good writer. He's butchered a lot of characters, but they just keep hiring because he is I don't know, popular or something, or I don't know, he's checking those boxes. Same with Donny Cates. People praise him. I think his writing is mediocre. There's a lot of other good writers out there, but those are the only two. And those are, in my opinion, also the worst. There is not a lot of writers that I can recommend out of the top of my head.
And also the artists are all just a bit plain, right? You don't have really, like in our time we had Jim Lee, we had Todd McFarlane, Erik Larsen. They really had their own styles, and they brought in their readers. They were a fan of those styles. We don't have those artists anymore, do we? It's like all this art seems the same, looks the same.
Well, it looks the same in a bad way. That's right, because mostly it's a bit art, that's how I call it. Yeah, there's no really high level because Marvel cannot pay that anymore. They pay for cover artists for I don't know 200-300, maybe 500 for a beautiful looking cover, but that's about it. But they don't pay those high ranking artists anymore because they cannot afford it or they are not worth it, because since the Tumblr artists can fill that void because people still eating up those Marvel comics, looking at you, Dave, they keep producing shit, that's about it. And then
Dave, right?
Yeah, Bristolian Dave, if you're still in the chat.
So Ian says correctly that one thing a lot of these points have in common is if you do something too much, often you're ruining the fun.
Of course, everything too much. Everything with the two in front. It's
fries every day. It's tasty, but, at one point.
But the most important thing
they didn't mention indeed that the quality of the art and writing it has gone downhill.
Yes,
comics used to look awesome. You picked up a comic. Oh, this is awesome. This is fantastic.
What he said.
You turn the page. You see Jim Lee art or Joe Madureira art or
David Finch.
Yes, exactly. And you were blown away.
And you see that now in indie comics. You see awesome art that you can never see in this corporate world of comics. And it's so sad. People label it, make it politicized, left, right. I mean, it's a shame. In that sense, it's a shame that the comic gates exist because you label it, and comics shouldn't be labeled, it shouldn't be politicized, and that's a shame because then you divide, and I think you also place a negative intonation on something that's not there. I mean, not all indie creators are comics gate or vice versa, and it shouldn't be. And then people would probably leave those corporate shit behind and go to the indie comics.
Look, the thing that attracted me to superhero comics was awesome characters, cool battles, awesome powers, fun stories, cool villains, just action and cool stuff. And with many of these modern art styles, they aren't necessarily bad. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're just not for superhero books. Superhero books need to look bigger than life. They need to look spectacular, and that's what I'm missing nowadays.
Yeah, and sometimes they have too much political message in the comics.
Yes,
we always had that.
Yeah.
We always had, there was always some small political thing in comics per writer. That's okay. But now they're taking it way too far. I mean, to be honest, one of my best Spider-Man comics I have was with the introduction of Cloak and Dagger in a Peter Parker series, where they also were had a topic about gun violence. A drunken dad enters his home and got shot, or a drunken son enters his home, got shot by his dad. It's just a small message, we need to do something about this. But it's more to the heart than a political message that we need to stop. Like in America, they have this gun law, whatever. It's not about stopping that. It's more about the human side of it. But nowadays, everything needs to be politicized. It's so boring. And you can't make good stories about that.
No, it's a seriously. Also.
Seriously,
look, you can make political commentary, right?
Yeah,
you can do that, but you should not. You should leave interpretation or opinions to the reader.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
So I mean, come on. I mean, also the writing sucks. I just found a comic page that was very controversial to a certain point. It's called The Exterminators. When maybe I should, better show you, I guess.
Exterminators. It sounds cool.
But that's also point what this article didn't state. It's the woke stuff.
The horrible.
And you see more and more now. Also, some movie producers, they are also done with woke. They are moving it out. You see also finally with some big tech companies. They are rooting out some of the woke people, but also they notice they are making less money.
Yeah, but these business decisions, I don't get it. So you have these problems that were listed, right? These 10 problems that we were complaining about for 15 years. So what do these companies do? Maybe we can solve it by lowering the quality of the art, taking popular characters and making them female or gay or black or whatever, and then vilify all the fans who complain about it. That's a good strategy, right?
Yeah. Now look at this page if you want to share it.
Right. Let me add to the screen.
Who wants to do the honors to read the horrible dialogue?
I can't read it.
No.
Okay.
But
you have to zoom in. I think you can zoom in, Marinus.
Well, I cannot. I can only do this.
Oh, all right. Can you read it?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is, X-23 calling herself Wolverine with Jubilee and another character. So this guy comes in and X-23 says,
no, first do the...
watching... What?
Yeah,
Sorry?
you have to do the dialogue with the guy first, right? Welcome to my aquarium, lovely.
Oh, yeah, let's do
Make yourselves up because you'll never leaving.
Yeah, okay. And then you like watching people piss, huh?
Huh? What?
You like pee. You're into it.
No, that's not true.
Then why can't we use the clothing racks to do our business in private?
It's a security concern.
It's an excuse for a poorly disguised fetish. Oh, little piss boy. Little baby loves pee.
You're horrible.
You kidnapped us.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah. Comics in 2023, guys. Buy it right now from Marvel
This
stores.
is the most awesome dialogue I ever spoke.
Yeah, but this is also one of the problems, right? Villains nowadays, they are downgraded to the point they aren't threatening no more. You know? Yeah. What kind of?
Well, the villains nowadays are. The villains nowadays, they are like these gym. In the gym you have these guys walking around, and they are perceived as ghosts. All the girls think that any man in the gym is a creep, so that's the villain.
Yeah.
Right. Welcome, by the way, 58 Underground.
You just entered to the right time.
At the right moment. Yeah. No, this writing is abysmal. Who talks like that?
What? God. Dave, come on. My voice was super good. All right, a bit more accent, but it's.
Yeah, I can do.
Dude,
I can do.
You hurt my feelings, man.
Look, you have writers now. You have writers now indie industry. So they let people in who don't give a fuck about comics, about superheroes, about characters, about the fans. They just don't care. They just
want to go make series or movies.
Yeah, they rather do the Netflix things or whatever. So you get shit, and so I don't know why people still buy this. Some people maybe still buy it. I don't know why. What's the appeal right now? I don't get it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just crap. It's terrible. Yeah.
So guys, if you're able, go and do a bit more effort. Go to also check out European comics. What's there on the market?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We already did an episode.
.com and find some cool comics there. We're going to sell original pages there, by the way. Next week, we're going to sell original pages through JaminComics.com. So Paul will put his artwork there. So yeah, that will be great.
Yeah.
All right.
Watch the review of Perfect 10. I left the link in the description for the website. So check that out. So if you want to promote my website, my channel, and your comic, here we go. Yeah, you can do that now, Dave. Shield away.
But spoilers, be warned, guys.
Yeah,
if you want to read the comic still without being spoiled,
still being released,
wait for it. So yeah. Roland, Marinus, thank you both for
you're welcome
with me for another cool episode.
Absolutely.
And
so next time, Marinus and I will do a comic.
We're gonna do the voice.
We'll do a whole comic with voices.
We're gonna do a very bad comic with horrible dialogue. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, we need to check a comic book with the worst dialogue ever.
Well, pick one Marvel comic. There you are.
Random modern Marvel.
Random. From the
we
late
can,
4
we
years.
can ask Bastilian Dave because he's collecting them all. He's reading them all.
Maybe
so
we can add him to the channel. Yeah. Maybe somebody needs to buy I Am Starfire, you know?
No. Don't spend your money there.
No.
Don't do it. Go to JaminComics.com. Spend your money there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Roland, Marinus, thank you. And special thanks to the chat for everyone who showed up. Thank you so much. Give us a like. Please share it. Leave a comment. And I'll be back tomorrow with a drink with Brink with my guest, Dean James. So I hope to see you guys there.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And also, thank you, chat, for coming and commenting all the time. Really appreciate it. It helps the chat a lot. I don't know, it helps the channel a lot from Dave. But it's fun for us too. So thank you very much for being here.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.